Hey everyone, welcome to a new series that I'm calling Rivals Feature. Now that Class Rivals is here in Horizon 4 and every track is raceable on every class, there's hundreds of new events to compete in. And so, to help build some of the leaderboards up across these hundreds of new events, my Discord server and I have started hosting a bi-weekly event where we'll be rotating through every track and every class. Today, we're starting at the top with the Horizon Festival circuit in S2. If you're looking for a bit deeper of an explanation into what these videos are and are going to be, feel free to check out the video description where I'll write a little bit more about what my goal is with the series. So today, let's start by giving a rundown of the track layout. The festival circuit starts off with a slight downhill that can definitely affect your braking at higher speeds. This leads into a long right bend with an inside dip that can definitely be used to your advantage to keep speed up while staying on the inside of the corner. Just make sure that you still hit the inside checkpoint flag. The long right leads into a pretty sharp left that can be cut on the inside quite a bit. If you can keep speed up and cut this corner well, you'll be at a huge advantage along the straight into the tunnel. Coming out of the tunnel is a slight left leading immediately into a sharp right. This is a tricky section of the course, so make sure your weight balance and braking is on point to clip the right inside apex, or you'll find yourself going too wide or just losing too much speed in this section. On the next right, we can hug the left shoulder of the road before turning in. Just try not to cut the inside corner here too much, as it'll likely cause your inside tires to lift and unsettle the car. Coming out of this corner, we can start picking up some serious speed through the downhill S-bend. Make sure that you stay left onto the tunnel, but be very careful of running the wall, as there are two noticeable places where you can hit and come to a complete stop, which is super annoying, especially if you've been on a great run so far. Finally, we have the long uphill right to end the lap. This can be a really tricky corner to get right, especially at higher speeds, and you'll want to make sure you do, because the more speed you can manage through this corner, the faster you'll be coming into your next lap. Try to manage throttle so you hit the inside shoulder and then just barely miss the outside barrier at the end of the lap. So let's talk car choice here. In D class, the Peel Trident and the 65 Mini are king. In C class, the 65 Mini still reigns supreme, and I've got to say I have actually driven the 65 Mini quite a bit, and I strongly recommend using that car for lower classes. Now in B class, popular cars have been the Renault Clio Forza Edition, that same 65 Mini, and the Abarth 695, the new one, 2016. And in A class, the Lotus 340R, and again the Renault Clio are top choices. In S1, pretty much across the board, everybody's using the Lotus Elise GT1. And in S2, people seem to favor the MC12 Corsa, the CLK GTR, and the KTM Crossbow GT4. Now for my lap in S2, I chose the CLK GTR because it's a car I was already familiar with from my car review series. It is swapped here for all-wheel drive though, which I felt was necessary for this course due to just how tight it was and of course how fast S2 cars are on this track. I love the grip, and the turn-in ability of this car is insane. It's seriously fast around corners, and it's pretty easy to drive in most cases, but where I felt like it struggled was transitioning corners, which is kind of a shortcoming for this track. It felt a bit like it was fighting me, and I really had to make sure that my timing, my braking, and my weight balance were perfect in order to transfer from corner to corner and still hit my apexes. So using my own tune on the CLK GTR, I managed to get a global position on the Rivals leaderboard of 39th. And for my Discord challenge, I managed to place 3rd. So I went ahead and asked the first place finisher, Garmite, who managed to place 9th overall in the world, driving the Lotus Elise GT1, what his thoughts were on the Horizon Festival circuit in S2. Here's what Garmite had to say. I tried all three of the top cars, and the Lotus, after a lot of tuning, felt the best and of course got the best time. The second to last corner was really weird. For instance, in my best lap I took it really well, but I had no idea how because it feels very similar every time. For a good lap, you want to cut every checkpoint on the inside as much as possible, and the braking line is surprisingly accurate, except for after the first U-turn and the last turn before the finish and start line. It's a very small track, so every corner is very important to get good times, but the first 2 corners are kind of make it or break it. The Lotus is unfortunately just one of those cars that understeers no matter what at higher power levels, so you need to mess a lot with suspension tuning and get the anti-roll bars right. The car can feel really heavy, and if you try to make it responsive, it can understeer more, so you need to find a happy medium. Garmite also wanted to take a chance to shout out his buddy's club, the Nitrous Club, which goes by the ticker N20, so if you see him out in the open world or in a race, make sure you give him a honk. Alright, well congratulations to Garmite for winning our Discord challenge, and thank you for sharing some input with us. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed this new series. I feel like this is a kind of good way to create some sort of competitive hotspots within the huge sea of new Rivals events that admittedly have somewhat sparse leaderboards right now. So make sure that if you want to compete in the Discord challenges and get your time on the video's leaderboard, that you join the Discord and start setting some times. I'll see you for the next course in 2 weeks, and thanks for watching.